The defending national champions should play a tougher schedule, but Clemson, it's definitely not your fault. Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, breaking down the game that we love, you and I, the hardcore college football fan, like nobody else. Check out the videos. The library has grown over 7,000, so please lock it in. Subscribe, comment to the videos, like, and share. All right, you can also help support the channel by grabbing the Amazon link down in the description section below. Grab that link, do your regular Amazon shopping. It doesn't cost you a penny more. Just use the link and help build the channel. Join us over on Patreon at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. Mark Rogers TV at Patreon, where we will have exclusive live streams, viewer comment, reaction. It should be a whole lot of fun coming up very soon. All right, we are in the midst of our schedule rankings. I rank the schedules in the Power 5 each and every off season. This year I have included, based on your request, record projections. I've arrived at the 60th schedule in the country, so there's 70 Power 5 teams if you include the major and some of them not so major independents and the Power 5 schools in the 5 conferences. There are 70 teams. This is the 60th schedule, so the 10th or 11th easiest schedule in the country, and it belongs to the national champions, Clemson Tigers. Not your fault, though, Clemson, because you have bulked up on the non-conference games with the date against Texas A&M, of course, the return trip from Clemson's visit to Kyle Field, a tough 28-26 victory over Jimbo Fisher last year. The return trip is September 7th by Texas A&M and Jimbo. That follows the ACC opener. So Clemson not starting non-conference, but starting to highlight the ACC network launch on Thursday, August 29th against Georgia Tech. Then they've got Texas A&M, then they've got Syracuse. So a legitimate start to the season against 3 fairly difficult teams. Georgia Tech, probably a top 40 or 50 team with Jeff Collins in play there. Then we've got Texas A&M, of course, top 15 club last year, could be even better this year. Syracuse, the number 2 seed, the one team that gave Clemson a fight in the regular season. Of course, at Syracuse, the site of Clemson's loss in the regular season 2 years ago, 2017, without Kelly Bryant. At Syracuse on September 14th, they finish out September play against Charlotte and at North Carolina, which brings me to one of the key factors in conference scheduling, especially in the 14-team ACC and SEC, where they only play 8 games in conference. Who do you play in the other division? So for Clemson, of course, they play everyone in the Atlantic. They get 2 games in the other division. They always play Georgia Tech. If you're unfamiliar with that series, it goes way back, and the ACC has looked to protect that series, Clemson and Georgia Tech. So Dabo and company play the Yellow Jackets each and every season. Again, August 29th. This year, they play North Carolina, the worst team in the division. Last season, Mac Brown's in play at North Carolina. So this is one of the reasons why Clemson has one of the easiest schedules in the country, is they play in a weak conference and they play 2 of the weaker teams in the other division by far, with North Carolina coming off another dismal campaign at 1-7 in the ACC. All right, as we head into October, Clemson takes on Florida State, the real wild card in the entire conference, with the talent to win 9 or 10 games or more, but the productivity of a 5-win team last year. In Willie Taggart's first campaign, we'll see what Kendall Briles has in store for the overall season, and then a date against Clemson on October 12th. Clemson at Louisville, that used to be a tough game. Of course, the Cardinals in disarray last year, one of the worst teams in Power 5, and we'll see what Ken Satterfield has in play this year in his first year in replacing Bobby Petrino. One of Clemson's tougher games was actually at Boston College last year. They get the return trip from BC on October 26th. Wofford's on November 2nd at North Carolina State. Paper Tiger has pretended to be a challenger in recent years, and Clemson usually takes care of them. Aside from that 2016 game, of course, North Carolina State should have won on a late field goal, but otherwise Clemson has wiped out NC State. They go to Raleigh this time around. Then you got Wake Forest on the 16th, and they finish up with South Carolina, the annual Palmetto State Championship there between Clemson and South Carolina, where the Tigers have won, I believe, 6 consecutive times after the Gamecocks won 5 straight. So Clemson trying to schedule difficult. They go after 2 teams in the SEC, 2 pretty strong programs in South Carolina, and definitely Texas A&M. But the weak non-division games against North Carolina and Georgia Tech drags down this schedule. It is the 60th rated schedule in the country. It's number 10 in the ACC out of 14 teams. It belongs to Clemson. And what is the record projection? I rarely do this. But Clemson against this schedule, especially with A&M at home, I will project 12-0, 8-0 in conference play for the Tigers. I will have my prediction, my final prediction on everyone the last week of August heading into the 2019 season right here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. And again, if you love what we do, delivering the best in discussion, debate, and analysis, lock it in, subscribe, share the videos, and we'll see you soon with schedule number 59 in our rankings.